Hello, and welcome to my human geography report on Australia's progress in SDG 2. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. There we go. That's better. Alrighty. Australia. What do we know about Australia right off the bat? What's cracking? We got gigantic insects. This is a given, right? That is the size of my head. I won't be going near that thing, It's just, I would run away. Vegemite. If you've ever had Vegemite, you know that it's like literally the worst thing that you could possibly put into your mouth. Like, we have butter and jam, Nutella, and you'd put this on your food. So, two of the worst things to come out of Australia, but there's not many bad things to come out of Australia. I am an avid consumer of Australian media, like truly fighting the urge to use every single piece of Australian slang I've picked up over my 14 years on this earth because I know too much of it. We got H2O, Just Add Water, cult classic. You have to have seen it. Heartbreak Eye. Reboot Done Well. Little Lunch. Another immaculate childhood show. Just amazingness all around. And then speaking of television, we have some of the most recognizable actors. We got Hemsworth brothers, Margot Robbie, which I didn't know she was Australian. Like, you're telling me Barbie is from the land down under? This is so ironic because there's shrimps on her on the Barbie. See what I did there? There's shrimps on her because she's Barbie. Shrimp on the Barbie? Yeah. I don't know why they don't just say shrimp on a barbecue, because how am I supposed to know that Barbie is short for barbecue? Like, they overestimate me. But we got this slang, which, interestingly enough, I don't know if you knew this, but Australia tends to use Pig Latin for slang words. So usually we'd be like, oh, sweet. No, eat sway. Or, well, you have to guess what these mean. We got eshays, eat sway, and adlay. One of these has influence from Great Britain, so you're going to have to figure out what those mean. But essentially, this is the brilliance of Australia. This is what they have produced. But they have produced some not so great things. They are not so great at food insecurity, which we will be getting to. Actually, they are great at food insecurity because they have a ton of it. They're bad at keeping people secure when it comes to food. How about that? So now we've seen all the good that Australia has to offer. What about the bad? I can tell you it has something to do with this, but you've been wondering what these things are. I'll tell you. All right, so the United Nations. Now, you should know what the United Nations is. I shouldn't have to explain it to you, but I will, because in case you don't, I'm just being extra considerate of those of you who live somewhere where you don't have access to the internet, because the United Nations is in fact a very famous organization that was built after World War II under the name League of Nations, and they came up with this thing, which is one of the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 of them, and essentially they are working towards improving countries in general. So there's a common goal that they're trying to reach by a certain date. For most of them, it's 2030, I believe, and the target should be reached around there. And they have like trends and everything to show you where your country should be by 2030. So, what's going on? Why are we talking about this specifically? Well, Australia struggles with food insecurity. I know. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, what? I would not have guessed that Australia would be hungry. I mean, this looks like a meal for a family of 7. It's huge. It's like the size of my head. But they do. Let's read the definition of this, shall we? So this is Sustainable Development Goal number 2. End hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Very important stuff. Now, let's see where Australia stands. I'm closer. So, the first ever measured percentage of severe food insecurity measured in Australia was in 2015. And in 2015, 10.8% of the population experienced food insecurity. Now, this blue line right here, the one that's curving downwards, is what the UN estimates should be the trend line to hit the target goal of food insecurity levels by 2030, which is less than 5% of the population. Now, in 2022, when the data was last measured, it was expected for food security levels to be at around 5.2% of the population. Can you guess what it was? 3, 2, 1. 12.9% of the population experienced food insecurity, which is 2 whole percentage points higher than it was in 2015, which means that it's getting worse exponentially and not looking good. This graph shows that Australia is off track to reach their goal by 2030. What is this? So, let's explore why. I mean, Australia isn't a third world country by any means. Why are they so insecure when it comes to food? Why are people hungry? Well, this is a graph of financial stress levels by age group. Now, it's common knowledge that Gen Zs are clowned on for not knowing how to make money, handle money, or do anything to live. We are made fun of on the daily by older generations. But it's not entirely our fault. Jobs are becoming harder to get. Housing is increasing in price, and as our rent increases and as our pay is lower, how are we meant to pay for food? So, the most financially stressed age group is 18 to 44, where 44% of people are financially comfortable, compared to the 55% of people ages 45 plus are financially comfortable. Now, this is not good. If you see this, the reported food insecurity, which relates to this graph, you see loads of people are just making ends meet, about 25%. This directly relates to this graph because reported food insecurity levels are the highest for ages 18 to 44, where they're making ends meet or worse when it comes to food. In Australia. This is just in Australia. This is bad. I mean, imagine Margot Robbie being hungry, or the Hemsworth brothers being hungry. This is crazy to think about. They are not doing well. Now this graph is showing us the comparative food insecurity percentages throughout some countries in Europe and North America. This purple line is the average level of food insecurity, which is 8.5%. This blue line is Australia's, 12.9% of the population, second highest throughout all of these countries. I mean, it's just not doing well. 1.3 out of 6 people experience food insecurity. 3.7 million households experience food insecurity in Australia. 3.7 million is a huge number, especially if it was just people, even if it was just people. But think about households. That's like everybody who lives in your home multiplied by 3.7 million. That's how many people don't know when their next meal is happening or where it's coming from. So, in conclusion, Australia has numerous amazing things, but they are not doing so well in ending hunger, because hunger is still rampant within the ginormous island that is Australia. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you learned something. I promise to tell you what eshay and adlay mean. So eshay is weird, because it actually is a variation on yes. So it's basically like, oh yeah, like, yeah. So, but it's also, it's meant to refer to kind of, I guess I would describe it as like Australian gangsters. So you'd be like, oh, he looks like an eshay. And then adlay is the Great Britain one. See the influence? just lads in Pig Latin. So thank you for watching Adlays, and have a great day. I appreciate you.